Tonight, Bill, can you?
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
How many people listen to this in Bisbee? Don't look at that.
I don't think
No, I'm
anybody
looking.
does.
I can't see. You have the.
Oh
Fucking...
no, it's rolling. It's
okay.
rolling.
I'm just making sure it's rolling.
That's my sculpture. The Chaille.
That is amazing.
Chaille
You know what?
challenge.
We
You're
saw that.
shrunken.
Remember, we never put the cards together. It showed up in the mail after we were processing it.
Oh, this is what happened, Doug. I think Doug even walked out there. We were doing a Near the Wild podcast. That's Matt
patio.
Becker, John Norris, and myself on the patio to get the atmospherics of a rainstorm.
Which
And
we got.
And we were talking about some guy who said, "Hey, you should do these. You should do more artwork, like artsy T-shirts and stuff." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then we came in here because it was raining, and we came in here. We finished the podcast, and I opened a box. And the thing we were just bitching about showed up in the mail. It was the Chaille challenge, the cannonball.
Oh Jesus! That's
Yeah.
what I noticed.
We had just
You didn't notice that's him?
No, I noticed. I couldn't see the red light past that fucking ugly sculpture. But I guess now that you say
that's
it's
me.
the Chaille challenge.
It was amazing.
Hey,
but yeah.
speaking of challenges, the one that I suggested that didn't catch on, like the old Sky Candy with Jeff Beamish, the Hats Off for Heroes, that didn't work, and I forgot we even did it. And then someone tweeted me, so I tweeted some, and the backlash was horrible.
unleashed.
Yes, sometimes you tweet something and it goes horribly wrong.
Roseanne.
I don't have to apologize. Oh my God, Roseanne, I just tweeted that. Someone said, you should be the co-host on some fucking idiot. I go, no, someone should co-host. And I said, no, I want to co-host Roseanne's. She's putting this out as a podcast. She's going to have a regular YouTube channel show. According to Jake, we met her daughter, Jenny.
Yeah. In Colorado Springs.
Top notch.
She's great.
Fucking, you know what? Fuck you. Roseanne is top notch. She's just fucking insane.
Yeah, and that's it. If you admit you're insane and then you act crazy, I don't understand where it's the old thing is like, if the ball hits the batter, they get first base. That's baseball, my friend. That's baseball.
He's on point here as he stares at baseball and finds analogies that don't make
One
any
after
sense
another.
You're
whatsoever.
talking about you get beanballed. She's fucking loopy in the head from getting a hit. She's fair to getting first base. You can't blame her for an injury because she got first base.
You down with CTE?
Yeah. Who's down with CTE?
You know me?
It is a weird thing because we hung out with her in Colorado Springs and she did a set.
And Salt Lake, Hawaii.
And you see that side of her, like, I don't know if I should do this or that. And you're like, just go do whatever. Get up there. And she got excited about comedy and then came out and did the Salt Lake and then did a bunch of new material.
She loves stand-up comedy, and she would say, aren't we so blessed? Aren't we so blessed to just be able to make people laugh and do this for... I'm like, no, I don't feel blessed at all. I fucking hate the road. I hate doing comedy. And I felt bad that she's really loves to make people laugh, and she also knows that she's very mentally ill.
But don't you think creativity comes from that? Look at Joan of Arc.
My point. Hold on a second. My point exactly is that we see her on an artistic level, creative level, and then all this weird shit comes out because it's downtime. She wasn't on stage doing this stuff.
No.
It was Twitter and all this other fucking bullshit. And it's just a weird thing because the person I met in Colorado Springs and in Salt Lake was this person who was like rediscovering comedy. It was like wanting to go out and do a set, you know?
And she, honestly, one of the most beautiful human beings. And as you know, I'm a sucker for the broken.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, hear.
But I mean, she's... I don't know if I've said this before. I know I've said it with you guys, but there's a green room mentality with comedians where if there was a Twitter of green room conversations,
oh my God.
You'd all be done.
Every fucking comic would be fired from comedy in this climate. Every one of us says the worst shit, because someone of that color or that sexuality or that weight or whatever, you fat fuck, fuck you, you spook, beat it, faggot, and it's all like that.
Suck my dick.
And it's but comedy is such a unique place to live where if you don't, I realize. Sorry,
I love that. I wish I had a mic over the water bowl for
Mike
the dogs.
Mike the dog for
Slopping
licking up water.
Hey, Doug, what about having it?
We talked about this. I was talking about someone, some comedian special I don't want to get back into, but where when you live, like I just expect that people have the same point of view that me and my friends have without regarding that I don't live amongst normal working class people. So when I go, well, that's just a joke. Yeah, to us. I have a green room mentality because I've surrounded myself with that.
Insulated.
Yes, completely insulated. So a lot of times I have to step back and go, okay.
Well, you could always say that when people transfer to the like, I'm gonna do this or that after doing comedy, and then you go, I say fucking cunt too much. Like, no, you do, because you'll just say it. Like
when he just said, I say fucking cunt too much, he was using fucking as an adjective to I use cunt too much. He doesn't even notice that he said fucking to set up the fact that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Imagine a Twitter. A green room Twitter, you had to be vetted to get in there, and you could absolutely be totally free to say whatever you wanted to say. You could talk to only other comics. Like you were in the green room. Because the problem is, people who don't understand that sensibility are weighing in as if they do.
That's why the show, Provenza's show, the green room was
so good.
Oh my
it
God.
really was. And that was, but I don't understand why you can't still make that.
I think I heard someone say
I don't know why
that.
he's not making it just like we're making it and doing it as
I mean,
a YouTube
Netflix
special.
makes money. I mean, but I mean, you could release it on iTunes. I would buy
I don't
an
know if
episode.
their artists do, but they do.
No, but I mean, I would buy an episode of that for 99 cents every week. I go, oh, another one. I mean,
That episode with Doug and Jeannie Garofalo and Glenn Wool.
oh, and don't forget
Belzer.
Belzer.
The Bells.
Who are you? Who am
are
I?
you?
I'm the guy who bought your book.
No, he said, what's merch? I go, it's the book you sold when I started comedy that gave me all the wrong advice about how to do comedy.
Yeah.
I don't think he talked after that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see. I wish Provenza would put out like the full taping, not
like
the edited
unedited.
version. Yeah, the unedited version, which he was like forever. I don't know what happened to Provenza.
He's
Didn't
still
he
doing stuff.
disappear like
Well, the problem is, I think he got involved with Andy Andrist. He's an unbookable, and that stink, it wears off. No, I think he's still doing stuff. I thought I heard.
Someone said that he had like his Twitter went down. That's what it was. He
has his own Twitter?
and Provenza's Twitter disappeared, and he went missing like Vince Fluke, another name that you won't know.
God.
But
Google it.
I don't know if Vince Fluke ever got found, and that's been like 6-7 years.
Yeah, well, we should all be so lucky.
Vince Fluke just like
Yeah.
I don't like
But
even
no one
saying that
looked for
guy's
him.
name.
Yeah, but also, still though, you go, fuck, you can't just disappear, right?
Well, you can make yourself disappear.
Yeah,
But that
we
guy
all
was that guy.
fantasize.
Well, that guy was a real problem for us, and it was a weird thing. And I don't want to. No one say his name 2 more times.
he was
Candyman.
in a very different way. He was other people's James Inman. Where,
yeah.
all right, James Inman, yes, he's crazy. He's a fucking loose cannon, but he's ours. So Vince Fluke was someone else's. He was Paul Provenza's loose cannon. I couldn't fucking stomach him. It was the same way Norm Wilkerson had a relationship with Inman, going, what the fuck? Why am I on this tour with this fucking guy? I go, because that's our crazy guy. And you're new, so you can't bitch. You're new. That's our crazy guy. Well, Vince Fluke was someone else's crazy guy that was Some people adopt crazy people. Others have crazy thrust upon them.
Yeah, there you go. And this goes perfect with your earrings.
But I don't know why they're not doing that as a podcast, as an Audible series. That would be a fucking great Audible series.
Norm's with Adam. What's it, the booker at Comedy Store? Adam Egget. That they got picked up. Like that, we were on tour one time and we were listening to Norm and Adam. They're very uncomfortable. It's fucking great. And then all of a sudden, Tracy and I were driving back from the East Coast after a tour, and it just stopped. I'm like, well, that's weird. And then I just found out they got picked up. They're doing they got a deal.
Picked up by who?
I don't know. There's lots of people. There's
so many
venues
things now. You got to realize,
but that's why they stopped doing it,
Yeah.
because they were doing YouTube specific, and then it would go on a podcast, but there would also be a YouTube, and then it just stopped. And it was like, but he was getting like Jim Carrey and shit, right? So that's why it stopped, because it's going to be an actual show, which I would love to see.
I feel like the movie, and I really want to watch it with you. I've said it a million times.
Me?
Mr. Saturday Night.
Oh.
You remember the movie?
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like I always feel older than I am, but I also know my life expectancy. But I feel like, we're surrounded by, when his brother is his manager, but they're both 67 years old, and he's getting booked in a fucking Chinese restaurant. I'm not bitter like that. I'm a fan of playing the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
still,
but like, hey, what's going on that none of us know about? None of my fucking...
Mostly everything.
I got Brendan Walsh opened at the Comedy Store, and I'm like, he's not a new comic. That guy's like, he's like 20 years in or something.
He's got a veteran status, really.
Yeah, and then Olivia Grace. Hey, let's get some new blood. Let's get Olivia Grace in here. And I'm like, she's probably been doing it for 17 years. I think we're like, maybe one of these times some young buck goes, hey, if you want help with your podcast, maybe we go, let's give him a shot. Because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Everyone knows a little bit of what the fuck is going on in the new world.
Yeah, but the other thing is, like I said, most kids don't know what Baskin and Robbins are anymore. They don't know how cable works. They have no idea. They just know when it goes out.
They don't even laugh at my Blockbuster reference.
Yeah, no, but
they don't know anything. Fuck them. No,
but that's
We
it.
all used to eat
They're
Red Baron
sketch.
pizza.
So the idea is here now is what we're focusing on is working into retirement centers where they still have money. And we're just going to do retirement shows where they still remember all the things that people
But
used
you're
to
going to
do.
say fucking cunt too much.
No, not really. They'll go like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. I go, really? That's the name of the newscast.
I love when old bits come true. Like shit, like this is gonna, and then you go, see? And people are like, hey, you called it in 2006. And I go, well, that was recently. No, it's not recent. That's 12 fucking years ago.
But the other thing is you got to feel great about that going, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did. I'm telling you what numbers coming up on roulette. But 20 years from now. There you go. 26 black.
I got a system in the future. To quote Sean Rouse. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas of things I want to do. Just doing shows here.
Yeah.
And I have a whole
What is
long list.
here? What do you
and
mean
I
here?
lose the list in the FunHouse.
In the FunHouse.
Like, filming 20-minute bits, but I have to learn how. All right, if we're gonna do singles,
Right.
which I think is a brilliant idea, I don't necessarily want to watch an hour of somebody. And the short attention span of YouTube generation. I don't have one-liners like Hedberg, but I have a 14-minute bit about blank.
And that's it. And that's in much, I mean, the thing is you go to segue all those 14-minute bits is much harder than releasing a 14-minute bit that goes, it has a beginning, middle, and an end.
With a forced
Oh my God, I think I
segue.
watched Seinfeld.
Oh my God, I watched that for the first time today.
What?
Comedians in cars drinking coffee
Oh.
or whatever. Like
Who'd you watch? I'm curious. Who'd you watch?
The one that came up after whatever else I fell asleep to.
A beheading video?
That's not on Netflix yet. I'm pitching it.
I'm on the dark Netflix.
I watched that. It was just like because I was watching some other comedy.
Things come up.
And
You have
recommended for you.
You've
or
got a
whatever.
continuous. So when when it shuts down from the previous video, another one will come up.
or it's recommended for you based on
And
what
they know
you
better
watched.
than you.
Right.
But like the comedians in cars coffee thing, remember how Lollapalooza became like a template for haha palooza, and then
Right.
Oh,
Shitty
comedians
Palooza.
of blank.
Yeah, everyone's tweeting me. You should do comics getting drunk, in a
laundromat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, no.
But I've never watched it. I've never exposed myself to these things that are like memes or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I know it exists. I don't have any interest in watching it. And Jerry Seinfeld driving around drinking coffee. Like, why? Why would you?
No, I mean, it was,
I don't
he
even
was,
drink coffee.
so here,
But I think, hang on, Tracy, next up, could you make me a coffee with a little bit of Bailey's and a shot of whiskey? That's a heavy shot of whiskey.
Do you plan on an intruder tonight?
No,
you
I
want to stay
plan on
sharp.
trying to stay awake for we're trying to keep it evergreen.
yeah.
I've been really good at keeping this time sensitive or
Yeah.
insensitive.
But but the thing
Have
is,
you watched it?
yeah, I watched all of them. I watched
I
them when
haven't.
it first came out, and I said, what a brilliant formula. First, he's a star. Second, it was thing. If you watch the outtakes, how many of his cars break down is amazing.
Oh,
Like, I
they use
would
a
never
different
go-
car, right? They use a classic or a
classic car based
They use
on,
a different car.
It's a wine pairing with the comedian. So he goes,
a car
"You,
pairing."
Doug Stanhope, are more like a GTO
Or
with a
a
convertible top."
Pacer.
I watched 2.5 episodes, and he did that with everyone, and it made no sense. Oh, Ellen, this is like you. It's a standard, sturdy, reliable, and like you're just.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, but the cars break down when they do this a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I go, these are your cars you collect? You're a piece of shit. Like, I would never go to his auction.
Does he really collect those cars?
You kidding? He bought a fucking
He's got a
3-story
shit ton of
thing in
cars.
like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He bought a housing complex that people lived in, evicted them all, and then he put a lift in so he could store his cars by his house. I mean, the guy's rich. And fair enough. And he's allowed to do whatever he wants. But it is funny when people go, he's going to put cars in it? He goes, yeah, I own the building. I can do that.
Oh, I
And
didn't know he
agree with
owned
that
the
part.
cars. I just
No,
thought he
he-
just found
those
a
are-
car
I
like
mean,
me on
he's-
eBay.
I think
when
he's,
I'm drunk.
He's a huge car.
He's
like
very
a
partial
Leno.
to the
Leno.
Porsche. The Porsche.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why.
they
Yeah,
brought that up. They
Yeah.
go, "How many Porsches? You're like a Porsche collector. How many do you own?" I watched. It was Zach Galifianakis, Dave Chappelle, and then Ellen, and then I had to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like, I got to do something with my
Yeah,
day.
but there. I mean, it is good, and you see the good guests and the bad guests like you would with anything. But sometimes you just sit and go, like it's a formula, no matter
Of
what.
course.
They do it 3 GoPros in the car.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're good.
I don't understand the need for the formula.
They came to him and said, "Make something," and he came up with this.
Or he.
I like cars.
Yeah,
and
he
I
pitched
know
it.
a
He
bunch of
pitched it,
comedians, and not one person said no.
Look, he's getting paid to do something he doesn't even have to work at.
no. But you know who amazes me?
He'd work less if he just did what Letterman is doing and just get a fucking studio or a FunHouse and go, "Hey, Zach Galifianakis, let's talk for 30 minutes." Now they have to go to a fucking donut
No, they have to
shop.
rent a car if they don't have the one that he wants to pair. Then they have to find where they're going to go.
Parking, because
Releases. Yeah.
That's one of the things that killed me. Oh, really? There's a parking space in L.A. right in front of the place you're going to fucking film? They just get a
Starbucks on
FunHouse.
Sepulveda.
Yeah.
You know, Brett Erickson.
And then you have to watch him eat.
That's your fucking
worst. I saw Zach Galifianakis, one of the two of them, with a donut hanging out of their mouth, fucking chewing. And like, that's fucking disgusting. Just sit on a fucking. Go ahead.
I have to say this because this is the only time I could ever bring this up. Brett Erickson and I were watching Holtzman close at the Comedy Store one night, and it was like for an hour and a half he kept saying he was going to leave. And he was just like closing everyone out of the original room at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Holtzman. And
Brian Holtzman, for the listener, is one of the best chaos comics ever. He can't perform outside of the Comedy Store. That's his home base. If he leaves and goes on the road, he panics. Like, I understand that to an extent. I won't do a drop-in set at the Comedy Cellar because that's not my crowd and they're going to fucking hate me. I know that. Even if I'm wrong, I know it in my head and I don't need to do it. I spent fucking 28 years building up a fan base so I don't have to play to fucking tourists. Go ahead.
Brett Erickson, while we're watching Holtzman, people are just streaming out. They're just figuring out how to politely scrunch a chair back. Erickson leans over the tabletop and goes, "That's the show. Comedians in cars with Holtzman." But that...
I get it.
No, it's a rogue thing, but it was like, it fucking made me laugh so
I can't
hard.
even fucking talk about this, but or the Inman idea of a prospective sponsor where you're like, oh, Inman in that situation? That would be fucking hilarious. Yeah. But Holtzman, like, those are actual brilliant minds. Like, he's got the movie A Brilliant Mind is not necessarily about a brilliant mind, but it is. But it's not something you can take on the road.
No, exactly. That was the point.
You have to just sit back and appreciate that this fucking insane person is doing it so well. But you also know he's a fucking insane person, which is great. And again, I love the broken people, and the whole term, he's a comics comic, right, is ridiculing the audience, which I love to do.
It's actually written on your shirt right there. Doug Stanhope, the comics comic.
It's when you say it's a comics comic, it means it's a comic that you, the fucking ticket buying chumps, are never going to get. And I appreciate that. I don't want you to get Brian Holtzman. I don't want you to get a million of these people. I want a fucking Junior Stopka to always be somewhat hated or fucking just get confused looks because he's doing it for him. He doesn't want to go on the road. He doesn't want to get famous. He's doing this because he loves to do it just in Chicago, close to his house. And yeah, I love that. I mean, I wrote this about you and Andy in my book, my whole introduction, that people say that I'm trying to, Andy's trying to be like, no, I'm trying to be like you and Andy my whole career.
Oh, but
I can package it well. You're just fucking
But I
brilliant.
always said I'd rather do Branson, Missouri and just have one place I do it than have to go run around and try to find people to go, hey, am I funny? And they go, I don't think so. And I go, I'm never going to Connecticut again.
And not on a fishing boat.
Yeah, never again. I can't compete with tuna.
There's parts of success, financial success, that you go, this ruined my love of doing comedy, because once people had expectations from me, not comedy night, but for me, I'm like, oh, fuck,
yeah.
I have to do more. I have to write more. Did I already do this the last time I played here? Back in our day when we were just comedians on comedy night, fuck them.
Yeah, but anything you wanted to do, it was like hands off. You go, that didn't work at all, did it? And you go, nope, but it was fun.
Try again tomorrow.
Remember when you did
Go ahead, boo me.
You did a giveaway one time
What's
on
my name?
Everyone,
Everyone, hey, yell out, what's my name?
Yeah. And nobody, bingo hall silence. And like, really? Nobody knows?
They were just talking about that on Jay Okerson and Dan Soder on the Bonfire. They were talking about it, and I was like, God, come on, you got to bring up Stanhope, because it was your bit about you don't go to a movie and plunk down $8 and go, I have no idea what. Just give me a ticket to something, you know. And they were talking about that same thing. I didn't know if they had heard that or not, but I was just.
I've found
it's a thing
lot
people
of things
feel
where, like, if I was really bitter, which depends on the hour of the day, I'd go, I did a whole bit about this.
Yeah.
You're talking about it, which most of the time I'm in a good frame of mind where I go, I influenced that. I'll never get credit, but I said that like before the day where it was, don't fucking Jim Norton me, man. Becker staring at baseball.
No, I'm not.
I'm looking at you.
I know. I'm trying
Look
to
over here.
But
He's got $1 on every pitch, so just fucking back off. Tracy makes money here.
Norton would do that to me on when he was on Opie and Anthony.
Who?
Jim Norton.
Who? No, Opie and who? Go ahead.
Yeah, he'd say the funniest fucking thing in the world and then go back to his phone and he's tweeting and texting and he's not even paying attention. And then you go back to talk to him and he's on his phone.
I don't
but
have a
he's
phone.
Still funnier than
I don't
you.
have a phone.
Yeah, he's got a TV.
I'm sitting here.
58
That's
inches.
I'm before anyone
don't know how
blows
that
this
helped
out
you.
of proportion, Stanhope was shitting on Jim Norton. No, I was saying he'd be funnier than you and then go right back to his phone.
Yeah, and you go, how do you do that?
I'm losing my train of thought because you're texting while I'm talking to you.
Yeah. No, I was trying to get Tracy to get me a beer.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Well,
she
you
must have
can
been watching the
kinda
pitch count.
Yeah, she was watching the game. I was watching Tracy. I'm watching you while you watch them.
Now I have no idea what I was talking about, but what does it matter?
It
What does
doesn't.
it matter?
We can take a break.
We're old people. Well, do we have to?
I
I guess, well,
Yeah, let's take a break.
let's smoothly segue this into whatever we're going to say while we take a break.
Cocktails.
Cocktails! Hey, there's a good... Please hold. Cocktails! That's our new fucking... Instead of saying we're going to a break, we go, please hold. Cocktails!
That's pretty good,
I
actually.
like that.
Because
We're
then-
using the
Write
birdhouse
that
all
down.
the time.
Write that down. We just recorded it.
I go, cocktails.
The earlier podcast, because Chaille's a bit of a perfunctionist.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Perfectionist.
It's like, no, just go to break. And I go, well, we are going to break.
Well,
You
I
just
was
said
doing that. That was
it.
a.
And so we're recording this. I'm like, well, that was enough of saying. And then that lasted like
Just
2
write it
minutes.
down and hold it up and go.
No, it's very funny.
No, I'm
yells
like,
cocktails,
we don't have
and
to
you just
say
go
that.
to
We can
break.
just
I just
start
kept telling him to go to
about-
break, and he went. And he goes, "No, you just did." I go, "But we need you to do it." And he goes, "No, you just did." And I
It
will
just-
put the whole
it
thing on
turned
there.
into a fucking who's on first. But I go, but what if
Did you record
every
it?
time we
Oh
say,
yeah, the whole thing.
But I said, what if every time we say we're going to break, people just tune out and they go on break and leave and have a cigarette and never remember to listen to
They
the
get
rest of
caught at work.
Cocktails. Cocktails.
We can
Blue
do-
Apron.
What?
Yeah, you fucking brought Blue Apron up when we have all this excess food from a party that never happened.
Every week.
Yep.
I bring it up.
Well, Blue Apron keeps. It's not like it's not my discount meats that I buy at Safeway. Oh, by the way, I did Rogan's podcast when I was in L.A.
Oh, way to evergreen it.
No,
I know.
when was
I'm
in
giving you.
LA.
I'm sorry. I'm giving you shit.
No, you unevergreened it by saying it was recent. I did Rogan's podcast in LA,
Touche.
and I did mention my fucking love of discount meats. I wake up and that's my It's like my job. I wake up, I have a job. I have to get up immediately and go to Safeway and see what good discount meats I can get.
Did you have a problem with that?
Well, I went to Safeway in the last few days, and a lady next to me, while I'm fucking picking through the discount meat, 30%, I'm going for 50% off. I want 50% off.
The dark corner of the meat section.
And a lady next to me, who was like any middle-aged, 42-year-old nice lady, said, "Oh, are you getting your cheap meats?" And I went, because everyone here knows that my predilection for cheap discount meat. And I went, "Yeah, it's morning time." So I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I heard you on Joe Rogan. I listened to his podcast." I'm like, I get fucking recognized in my own hometown of 5,000 people because I was on Joe Rogan. You don't
Not
listen
your
to my
podcast.
fucking podcast. And I get, since every time I do Joe Rogan, I didn't know you had a podcast too. Well, you wouldn't, because if you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, that means you don't have a job, because he does 80 of them a week, 3 hours. He does like 28 hours of fucking podcasting a week. So you couldn't listen to another podcast. But yes, thank you for noticing me in my hometown at my steaky meat.
Hey,
Are you buying discount meat again?
Hey, Doug, skip the discount meat scrounging that you do at Safeway and go straight to cooking with Blue Apron. Enjoy delicious meals that are great on the grill. Incredible ingredients, chef-designed recipes. Blue Apron lets you see the power.
Today. You brought up pasta today.
I brought pasta today, but
said-
you're talking about meat, so I would bring up
And
that.
I said, "Hey, I have stuff I cooked during a blackout in a crock pot. Why would you bring up Blue Apron?" But
I'll tell you why.
but everyone
Flexibility.
ate the Blue Apron.
Doug, flexibility. Blue Apron offers 12 new recipes each week, and customers can pick 2, 3, or 4 recipes based on what best fits their schedule.
Yeah, and Blue Apron ships it right to your door. You don't have
Yeah.
to go to fucking Safeway and talk to people in a hangover that you don't want to talk to and you don't remember. And they're like, "Hey, I heard you on Joe Rogan." I'm like, "Yeah, just get out of my fucking face." Blue Apron doesn't get in your face, and they've never heard me on Joe Rogan.
Blue Apron. It's like not listening to Joe Rogan.
It's a terrible thing.
It's
to say.
also high quality. Blue Apron only sends out non-GMO ingredients and meat with no added hormones.
Yeah.
I know that's not your concern, Doug, because you're in the dimly lit area of the
Hey,
meat
how
section.
do you make a hormone? Buy Blue Apron. Doing.
What do you call a hooker with a runny nose? Full.
I was because of Blue Apron and traveling overseas that I've tried to force myself to eat new and different things. Because there's always one little thing in the description in the hotel fucking
Late night menu or something.
the regular menu
Yeah.
where you go, that sounded good at first. It had meat. Okay, I like meat or whatever the meat is. And then they have one weird thing that's not necessarily bad, but I go, carrot slaw versus coleslaw. What's carrot slaw? I don't fucking like this. I don't like different things, but because of Blue Apron, it's fucking good. Like, all right, I'll try something new because of fucking Blue Apron.
How about Cajun shrimp with corn pancakes?
The weird thing is, if I hate it, I don't blame Blue Apron. Blue Apron has been one of our most resilient sponsors, and sometimes you don't fucking like it. And you don't order it again. It's just like any fucking restaurant. I'm not going to say I love every fucking thing Blue Apron sends. Sometimes, no. But the Chailles will eat it. They're like Mikey from the Life cereal commercials. Hey, didn't I say that we're dated old fucking people? No one knows what a Baskin Robbins is or little Mikey from fucking Life cereal.
Yeah.
Do they still have Life cereal?
Yes.
Yeah, they have life
Cinnamon Life.
I should
Look,
eat
they've
cereal
got
more often.
stuff right now because of the summer. Oh, sorry to date it. They got stuff just for grilling. They got stuff that's
It
trending.
could be any summer.
They've got the Mediterranean diet.
We live in the desert. It's always summer.
Exactly. They got other stuff that's quick and easy. That's under 30 minutes. You can skip the meal planning and get straight to cooking with Blue Apron. That's what we do. Every time we want to put a delivery on hold, we just go onto the website, log into our account, and we can put every week on hold that we're going to be gone. And then we start it up again right when we come back. It's so simple, and it's right there on the website. Also, for the summer, they've got chef-designed recipes with partnerships with Bob's Burgers and Master Chef. Yeah, and I sent the Bob's Burger recipe over to the Beckers. Becky, which one did you cook?
The Quantum of Salsa burger. It was delicious, and I prepared it. I did. It was fun. It was a ton of fun.
It almost looked like it was vegetarian because it looked like it could have been like a fake meat because of the corn pepper salsa on there.
Yeah, but it was all meat.
Which is like weird. It's like putting corn on a burger.
It was a little bizarre, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to roll with this. I'm going to have an open mind, and it was fucking delicious.
I did it because of the onion rings. I mean, I ordered it for that week thinking, well, maybe we'll put like a different burger in there or something. But then I thought, well, you guys eat meat.
Yep.
Let's do it. And you
Yep.
can switch up whatever they don't go, hey, thought you were fucking vegetarian, motherfucker. We're not sending you meat.
It's no judgment.
It's no judgment. Yeah. So we can get we can mix it up. You can get whatever you want in the order. We get 3 meals a week, and it's for 2, and it always feeds more than 2.
It was fantastic. And what was great was with the theme of it. It's got Bob's Burger theme. So what we did is that we ended up watching Bob's Burger, and then we had Bob's Burger for breakfast.
We did. I did make it for breakfast.
Yeah, we had it for breakfast. And the thing is, the spices were so good in it. And she goes, I use the whole thing in it because they said
It had
whatever.
the chili paste, and it said use
Yeah.
to your discretion, basically. And I was like, oh, it's all going in.
Yeah.
This is one thing I figured out. I always double the amount of cloves of garlic. You have a recipe that calls for 2 cloves of garlic. They give you a bulb. So I've always got extra garlic. And I don't think the garlic ever hurts by having a little bit extra in there. So I always add extra. And the other thing, I want to ask you about the onion rings.
Yeah.
How did
Too
you,
much garlic. No.
No,
they look totally appetizing.
they were so yummy.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It looked like a burger that you would get at Bob's Burgers.
No, I know, but it was so fun because the theme was a great idea. I hope they continue that because that was just funny because we were laughing the whole time and Becky's busy checking it because you want to make it exactly as the thing says.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not an exact cooker, so I had to refer back and to go back to where you were starting from, and then you like, wait, where did the other half of the breadcrumbs go? And not until the end, I was like, oh, in the burger.
In the burger.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I should have
But
known that.
the other thing is that the corn and peppers mixed thing on top of the burger
The
is
salsa?
weird. I've never.
salsa.
Well, it's corn salsa though, so I mean, it's like it's. I've never had a burger with corn and stuff on top of it, and I went, this seems weird, but it tasted fantastic. It was a brilliant idea.
Out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, so we
definitely.
did exactly as they said, and we went, it better be good. We both were eating it going, okay, this works.
is really good.
And she's an avid cook, and thing is, she goes, no, that turned out great, because what was the thing with that? You cut the corn raw, and then...
Yeah. I made a complete mess out of my kitchen, just like shucking the corn raw, just cutting all the corns off.
The kernels come off the cob.
Yeah, that. But I was just like, I made a mess.
But she's 2 foot tall, so she's like whittling it like she's, yeah. She's got a lathe.
But it was so good. And it was such a simple thing. It was corn. It was lime juice, onions, all in the pan. Or actually, the lime juice didn't even go in the pan. You put it in the lime juice afterwards and a little salt and pepper. And
Yep.
it was like the most amazing thing ever. Simple, yum.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Those are the little tricks you remember. You don't remember the whole recipe. You remember little things like zesting. I told you zesting lime
Yeah.
into
I'm gonna try that.
rice, fresh rice, and then the other one is adding lime juice to the salsa, and even a corn on the cob. You just slice it right off there, throw it into a pan with a little chili peppers, and then you put the lime on it.
And the chili peppers didn't even go in until the very end.
Yeah.
And so it was just like raw.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, very good.
And I'm not normally a fan of the sweet chili pepper, but let me tell you, that was yummy.
Yeah, we can.
They
make
got
a
a
commercial last
miso-
for a whole podcast.
They got a
But-
miso chicken ramen coming up. I'm gonna have to do that.
I fucking looked for miso soup today because I bought a fucking miso soup bowl. It's black on the outside, red on the inside. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. I found
called a
one
bowl.
at your thrift store. I'm going to put a plug in a plug. Your thrift store. If you're ever in Bisbee and you need
I bleeped it. I bleeped it.
Miso. I love the way you're hitting that with a Sharpie, like you're bleeping stuff live. Yeah, and I go, I want miso. This is going to make me want miso soup every day, and it's a 25-mile, 30-mile drive to sushi. And I try to find miso soup at it's just broth. I think if I just made like chicken
listen, Doug, it's so hard to do miso soup that you
But I was
just
looking in the canned soup section. Like I found it in the Asian section, which is like one little tiny piece of a shelf where they have
Railroad's done.
and I'm trying to, and I go, they had one, but it had like fucking noodles in it and shit. And I'm like, oh, I just want like the brothy shit you get at sushi. And so I went through all the Campbell's soup seeing if they had miso, and they don't. I took a lot of time.
Are you mouthing the alphabet as you go from asparagus,
meatballs and spaghetti to miso horny?
Well, miso's coming up in
Do
August.
the rest of the tag, because I want to keep talking about soup.
No, we're done.
Hashtag.
Hit it.
Well, no, you're gonna go to fucking. Well, no, oh, jeez, why are you making me read?
Because you're all hopped up on the miso.
Flexibility.
No, at the bottom.
Oh, at the bottom, you blacked it out.
No,
You redacted this like it was a CIA.
Goddamn
memo.
right I did. They need to stop putting what not to say on there.
So check out
miso
this
soup.
week's menu and get your first 3 meals free. 3 meals. There's no such thing as a free meal. There's such thing as 3 free meals at blueapron.com/Stanhope. That's blueapron.com/Stanhope. I don't know if you have to do it in all caps the second time, but that's how I have to read it. To get your first 3 meals free. Blue Apron. It's a better way to cook.
Hey, Arrow is a new sponsor here on the Doug Stanhope podcast, and they sent us a system, a complete home Wi-Fi system.
So I don't know what Wi-Fi is, and it's spelled wrong. Y is W-H-Y.
Although we have a system already set up here at the house, Doug's gone, so I ripped it out. I set this one up. Well, this system actually prevents having dead zones because you put the router next to your cable modem, plug it in, and then you set up beacons in distant areas of the house.
So you're saying if you were to, say, buy a house in the middle of a desert and then have multiple little houses all strung in a circle, this would be the only thing that would work to get all the dead zones?
We are pushing it to the limit. Inside a house is much easier than what we're doing here. I had the system up in 10 minutes, and now we have one Wi-Fi network up here for the entire three buildings here, using off that one, which they say is just for a house. I'm going to correct you, Arrow.
You could do a series of cabins in the middle of the woods, because we're doing that.
I mean, that's basically what we're doing. We have 3 different structures, and that's the problem, is that Wi-Fi doesn't really go through walls that well, especially multiple walls. So they set up these beacons, which no wires. It just plugs into an outlet, and it's got a night light on it. So it's not a wasted space. And the light adjusts by the time of day, and it's completely controllable from the app. In fact, all of it is done from the app.
So if you move it from, well, say you just for whatever reason, you're going to have people in the other house somewhere over, you could move one of the beacons over there and you don't have to rewire, you don't have to do anything.
No.
You just unplug it, plug it in?
Plug it in. And it tells you if, hey, we're not getting a good signal, move it somewhere else. It tells you. It doesn't make you limp along with a shitty signal and go, that's good enough.
Yeah.
It was really intuitive and a breeze to set up. And I'm the one who set up the original one.
Right.
It took me longer to take out the old equipment than to set this one up. And like I said, it's the one router is in the middle. So we've got 3 houses kind of in a line, and we've got that one in the middle has the router, and on both ends we put a beacon. And now I've got another one on order. I'm going to put another beacon to hit the 4th house down below at Black Knob.
So one router half of Black Knob and Van Dyke is what you're saying.
Not to mention, this app is really fucking cool because I can actually go on there and I can see what devices are actually plugged in and if they're working. And I can actually test the speed that I'm getting from my service provider.
Can you see if your neighbors are on it?
Well, yeah. I can
tells
see
you
all
everybody?
I can see all devices that are on
if
it.
more devices did that,
Yeah.
that would be.
And you can also create a guest network, which is what I did here at the FunHouse. I could just have everyone looking on the guest network and log into that and give that password and not have them use our regular Wi-Fi network here.
Brilliant.
Perfect. And it's all done. And you can even upgrade to another thing they've got, to Aero Plus. And that gives you even more security features, more ways to kind of get data on streaming, and ways to tailor a internet connection for each member of your family. So you can shut people down. I think this is more for the kids.
Yeah, that's a little control freaky there.
Well,
Yeah.
some of these kids, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well,
I'd
you see
do
that-
it.
There was just that story where the kid broke in the neighbor's house. Did you see that?
No.
He breaks in the neighbor's house, wakes him up in the middle of the night in their bedroom, and says, "What's your Wi-Fi password?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that made national news. They didn't have an arrow.
See?
He couldn't get their Wi-Fi.
Oh. Now, what they could have done was just create a guest account for the neighbor kids.
Don't break into our house. We'll
And then
turn
just
you
shut 'em
on
down.
and shut you off.
Just shut 'em down.
Don't wake us up.
Doug, is this making sense to you?
I don't know what Wi-Fi is.
With Aero, you can install an enterprise-grade Wi-Fi system at your home in just a few minutes. Simply download the Aero app on your iOS or Android device, and it'll walk you through each step of the process. It's quick, easy, and painless. So simple.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
simple.
You know the difference. You've gone through the hard ones.
Oh my God. With the Aero system, you plug in the power, you plug in a network cable from the back of the Aero unit into your cable modem. Your service provider has a modem of some sort. And that's it. Then it just tells you step by step. If you've done something wrong, you can't go to the next step, and then you just correct it. It is so simple.
That's
so
great.
easy. The Aero app also lets you manage the network from the palm of your hand. You'll know how many devices are connected at any time, as well as the internet speed that you're getting from your service provider, which I love. I've got other apps on my phone that will tell me. You never know what you get. It's never what they say they're going to give you.
And they go, that's the estimate based on never.
Based on never.
Yeah. And to be fair with Aero, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We have very, even the best is still flaky a little bit.
We have 2 service providers out here.
So yeah, piss one off and you got one. But this is really good for how spread out houses that are a block down, but not up.
Basically, when you do the app, they go, "Hey, what does your house look like?" They want to know, is it like a Rambler, one story?
And you have to describe
how many bedrooms?
The place where the Mansons lived.
Or they say if it's 2-story, then they say, okay, you put your system here, but then they actually gear it towards what the setup of the house is going to be. And I just said, spread the fuck out. That's what we are.
But that's amazing. That works like that. And that's a bigger selling point than anything else. Obviously, in your house, you go, just go downstairs, you junkie.
But what they do is they have you set it up centrally, and then they put the beacons elsewhere. The router's a tri-band, which means it broadcasts in 3 wireless radio bands simultaneously. That's giving you more coverage. I mean, it can bounce around and you can find something. The beacons themselves just have 2-band, but there's 2 Ethernet ports on the back of the router. Blah blah blah. It's all on the fucking website at aero.com, and that's where you can check out all the nerdy stuff. This is the stuff that makes Doug gloss over.
Chaille, you're making me look like a dingbat.
Yeah,
Right?
but this is great. It sounds like Doug could actually set this up. It does.
If he was here, I would have had him
If
do
he was
it.
looking for his readers, he could just, plug that in there. Now plug it in over there. Now plug it in there. There, you set up your Wi-Fi. Fuck, I just need my glasses.
Make him think he's helping me do something like setting up a kitchen appliance.
Yeah. He's like,
What is this? It's a scale, dude. Just plug it in.
hey, this thing really works. You go, you did it.
Hey, plug this nightlight in over at the little house.
Hey, how come there's a light on in there? It's like, you plug that in there. That's where you wanted it. It's like, well, it's good. I can see the dog water bowl's empty.
Becker, you.
Security is also a priority with Aero, and traditional routers don't push software updates to their customers. That could possibly leave you open to cyber attacks. Aero updates automatically, so you not only have the latest features, but the latest security at all times.
I have no idea what you people are talking about.
Aero also has great customer service. When you call in, you will get a hold of a Wi-Fi expert within 30 seconds. That's what they claim. I wouldn't know. I don't have to call them. It's that fucking great.
What?
You got the Maytag guy sitting there at the Aero place waiting for a call, going, apparently everybody read the app.
Hey, for free shipping to the USA and Canada, just use promo code Stanhope.
No, Doug. It's free overnight shipping to the US or Canada if you visit aero.com. You forgot the .com.
How is there free shipping? Is there not Pony Express? You have to pay these guys.
At checkout, select overnight shipping and then enter promo code Stanhope and that'll make it free. Aero. That's EERO.com.
I'm on vacation. I'm on a train. It uses wheels. I understand how wheels work. I don't understand Wi-Fi or podcasting or anything. I just say stuff and I travel on wheels.
So you want free overnight shipping in US and Canada? Go to aero.com and at checkout, select overnight shipping and use the promo code Stanhope and that's gonna be free. Just for being a listener. Look at that.
Use the code Stanhope. It's like a Wi-Fi midwife. Free delivery.
All right. That's all I got. Going to bed. Bye.
Let's get back to fucking soup.
I love soup. I was dying for it the other night when I was really hungover. No.
Miso's disgusting, says Becky off mic.
Yeah.
It's
everyone's opinion.
It's
on
a
soup.
base. It's
Some
a
people-
base.
I love
Campbell's tomato soup with
Are we really doing this?
macaroni.
We're doing
soup. Fuck
soup?
yeah, we're doing.
We're doing a soup episode?
I'm doing comfort foods.
Yeah.
Unless you have a great
whoa,
way to go.
hold on.
Oh.
So we're talking grilled
Campbell's
cheese.
tomato soup with macaroni in it.
No.
That's one of my favorite comfort foods. The one that I talk about is the Jello with the French
I've
dressing.
never
and
heard of
bacon
that.
Bits, but yeah, macaroni in Campbell's tomato soup made with milk. Not you could put water or
I know.
milk.
Yeah.
A well-made potato soup where you add cayenne is fucking amazing.
These guys are ruining this.
You're
ruining-
It's comfort foods.
It's tomato
Like
soup
weird
with a
shit
grilled
you
fucking
ate.
cheese sandwich. That's it. You dip the fucking triangle cut grilled cheese sandwich
Velveeta.
into the, right?
Velveeta. Here comes Becky.
No, you get the tomato soup, and then you get the macaroni and cheese, and you dip the macaroni and cheese into the tomato soup.
I see what you're doing
and,
there.
Oh, it's like the sandwich, only
No.
without the sandwich.
Horrible.
No,
I'm not.
It is amazing. I go.
Comfort food, Chaille. No,
Yeah.
I'm with you, except for the macaroni and cheese.
No,
Oh, that's
I make it
interesting.
a soup.
But you dip it in like
not
you
the
do the
cheese.
sandwich.
No, it's gross.
I think
No,
he
not
understands.
the same.
He's just saying that his
Yeah, I've
his
never
memory-
heard of macaroni being mixed with the tomato base.
But it's Campbell's tomato.
No, he was
soup.
with Becky. He's with you.
He's
Your
with
husband's
you.
with you. He's
I'm talking
goofing
about
on-
comfort foods. You guys are welcome to chime in until we get on to a different topic.
Yeah.
This is an evergreen.
Yeah. That's right.
But like shit, when you go, I have to eat. I don't want to eat. I need to eat. What can you always eat?
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
Too much work.
Well, no, it's not too much work if you do the.
No, you just said I
microwave
have
shit.
to eat. There's a sense of urgency there.
But a comfort food where you go, all right, this is
Instant mashed potatoes.
peanut butter and jelly. How do you make
Twice
it?
baked potato.
On Wonder Bread.
You don't have to. You can make it on wheat bread with
do it
crunchy
with
peanut
butter.
butter.
Yeah. Yes, you do
You
it with
butter
butter.
the toast.
What?
Yes.
You always butter the toast.
You toast it. You butter the toast. Then you put a thin layer of peanut butter and a little
a
bit
thin.
thicker layer of jelly.
What jelly?
Or you can use
Get in here.
Or you can use cherry pit.
Tracy,
Pitted
we're
cherries.
talking to my parents
I
right
started
now.
substituting.
Hang on, the Gumps are here.
I
You
started
must butter the white bread
I started
before you put the
substituting-
peanut butter on.
substituting jelly with pitted cherries. Those big cherries they sell. And you pit
No!
them and you put them on there instead of jelly, and it's amazing. It's like an unprocessed jelly that's amazing.
And a thin layer of bacon on that sandwich.
Whoa.
Amazing.
This is a soup, macaroni, peanut butter sandwich with a thin layer of bacon and cherries?
Yes.
Cherries are the most underrated for a reason fruit. No, for a reason. Cherries are disgusting. No, you're not going to date this. You're not going to date this. Cherries are a fucking disgusting.
Cherries are the goal.
There's nobody eats cherries. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Cherries are fucking. No one eats them. They're fucking disgusting. Hang on, Mrs.
Oh,
Gump.
half the room just raised their hands.
Well,
the other half just
no
raised
one
their
understands
hands.
it when Doug's saying that, and he said cherries.
Wait,
I brought over a cherry dessert and set it in front, and then he goes, "They're disgusting," and then I moved it back to the back table.
Well, because you were going to date the podcast. Mrs. Gump, you were going to say something about peanut butter and jelly, and I'll tell you.
Bacon's all right.
Both
but...
Becky Becker and Mrs. Gump are fucking good cooks.
Well, thank you.
So
I thought we were beyond the PB&J, but what's with the thin layer? No, it's a PB&J. You taste the peanut butter. You taste it. You gotta have the full.
Wait, 2 sides, 1 side on the sandwich.
A side for each, man. You have to have that like more than
Gump.
a quarter inch of fucking jelly.
No, you do peanut butter both sides, and the jelly goes in the middle. Thin on both sides, but ends up being thick.
the first time that I remember cooking with Mrs. Gump was bacon.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to have a big discourse about this.
Hold on.
Why don't we do boring podcasts like this all the time? Why does it always have to be someone who committed suicide?
Suicide by
someone
bacon.
Who's having abortions or whatever. Why can't we just... So I remember, I think it was our third or eighth podcast where it was me and Rob Dukes from Exodus just talking about the best condiments.
Yeah, Road. That. He was the
Nyack.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a discussion where I hate cooking bacon because it's a fucking mess and it's a problem.
How do you cook bacon?
Well, I think you might have taught me how to bake bacon. So, but slow cook it
so it doesn't rumple up.
Well, you don't want like fat, like wet fat in bacon. And you were saying, well, some people like it that way.
I actually like that.
Chewy.
I want it crisp. Not.
Chewy.
I'd prefer. I don't like burnt but I prefer burnt.
You order crisp bacon when we go to.
Yeah, and sometimes
breakfast.
They burn it, and that's fine. But I like it where it's kind of like spongy, crisp, where it's. But she's like, yeah, some people like chewy bacon.
Yeah, it's like
raw.
thicker. It has like more. I don't know. It's
but
thicker.
the white part of the fat shouldn't be white. It should be brown. But you're like, no.
Oh, what are you?
That's why I cook for you now, because I know you're a good cook, but I know you have.
Hold on a second.
Taste.
You can have bacon any way you want, but the right way to cook bacon is slow and
like
in an oven on a pan, so it slowly cooks, and preferably on a rack, so that all the fat drains. You're still going to get plenty of fat. Listen, I'm not cheating anyone of fat here with this fucking recipe.
No, bacon. Do you know how to cook bacon, actually? You don't even know, do you?
Go ahead.
You take a grill and you run the grill, and then you set the bacon, you hang it on a wire rack above the grill. So it's, a gas grill. And then you hang the bacon up and down with clothespins on it.
We're not living in
it runs all the grease off. But
we're not living in a tent, Becker.
No, it almost does it like a smoker. And then you end up with this fucking amazing, that top rack on grills when you open it and you go, what the fuck is that for?
The top rack,
yeah, there's a top rack where it goes back and you go, is that for my shoes when I'm not running the grill? You go, no, it's for fucking bacon. You fucking clip bacon to that top rack. And you let it cook. And then when you open it up, you'll have smoked bacon that's fucking perfect.
How
and you lose 30% less.
Becker has spent his life is spending 8 hours perfecting bacon.
With clothespins.
Or how to make margaritas in a cement mixer.
These are all,
That worked out.
People have
that
other
worked out.
shit to do with their day rather than hang bacon off of a fucking thing and
with a clothespin. How many clothespins do you own?
When's the last time, Doug, you dried your underwear on the ceiling fan? Never, right? But you can do it.
His underwear's still wet right now.
No, you
Guaranteed.
can do it. I have shit to do.
What? Turn the ceiling fan on, clip your underwear up, go to work.
I have abortions to pay
Go
for.
to work.
I really want to mention this. I at some point when I paid for an abortion in Sarah Palin's name, and then hang on.
You were doing it annually, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. And then in George H.W. Bush's, John Ashcroft.
Oh, yeah.
Who's pictured up here. This is one of the problems, by the way, that I see when we do start doing this on video. People are going to see all the racist, sexist signs on the wall. This is a museum of intolerance.
Again, it's the green room.
It's the fucking green room.
If you do not get the joke,
room.
if you don't get the joke, then you're not getting it. But I'm looking at John Ashcroft right now.
That's a gift from Banjo Randy, who unfortunately was never on the podcast, but he's been
horrible.
Yeah, he has. He's played banjo.
On the podcast?
On the podcast with...
That's 7 dead people!
Oh, we hit it!
Oh, we're fucking 7. We're around 300 podcasts, give or take. There's some that don't count. We did 10-minute podcasts.
We're at 325.
And
remember when we went and Banjo Randy showed up?
Yeah, with Inman.
And Inman was there, and then
7 dead people.
he left.
We did the math where it's like 1 out of 50 people that are guests on our podcast are dead.
Yeah, take your vitamins, everyone.
Then you have to take out the podcasts that we didn't have guests, so your chances are even greater to be dead if you're a guest on here. Hey, do you want to say anything else there, Mrs. or Mr. Gump? All right.
Not that I can think of.
You're dead.
Yeah, that does it. You're dead.
Banjo Randy was on the one where Inman, after we did the podcast,
Got busted with the mushrooms?
With the mushrooms, and that was that whole
or
fucking...
didn't get busted with the
Well,
mushrooms,
yeah.
but made a fucking production.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Where were we going? We had grand plans for this
Soup.
next sentence.
Soup.
No, comfort foods is where we were.
Comfort foods where we were. But the other thing is, it's just the fact that, if we ever go to video and stuff, that they're going to have to understand that we're not changing the FunHouse just for that.
Yeah, it's just...
Are you going to cover all these things up?
I don't.
These are
wanna
real
say
ads
it.
from...
I don't want to fucking...
It's memorabilia.
Yeah.
It's not set up for that. Most of us hate being on camera. And by most of us, I mean me and Chad.
And me. I can't stand cameras. Yeah.
And I control the camera, so I won't be on it. I'll be just making it for you.
Chaille talks to me. Well, we can put this here. With this 3 cameras already set up right there in my face. Like, if you had GoPros, just like that footage we were showing you earlier of our security cameras. Yeah, if you had GoPros in those corners where you can see that we're talking, but I don't want people fucking looking at my ugly fucking teeth up.
We could do it like World Series of
definition.
Poker, where like just when you show your cards, they see you. We lean over and they're gonna see your like weird nose and teeth.
God, black screen.
Hey, what was that idea I had for a future podcast? There was one.
Well, you shouldn't talk about it.
All right, well,
it's in the future.
Well,
let's stick a pin in it.
With my memory, I think it's okay to talk about it because someone will remind me, hey, why aren't you doing that fucking one thing? I tell you guys, and you go, I wrote it down on a list.
No, that's...
Like, I have a list.
We all do.
But I had a weird idea.
I remember when I saw today in a note.
Not the one that we didn't do tonight.
Right.
That's a normal idea, but a weird idea.
You had one is like people named Stanhope that don't know me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like
was the guy who bought your scooter named Stanhope? Or you bought your scooter from?
Oh, hey, that scooter that's underneath in the laundry room, right? That's that's where I put it on the.
It's up at the rape trailer.
Oh, I put it on.
I'm taking it down to my house. I'm taking it down to my house.
Actually, it got stolen last night.
Hey, I'm gonna. Yeah,
he wrote it away.
Yeah, but no. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna take it down to my house. Okay, because
if you know how to do the mixture of oil and gas,
yes, I do.
It's a 2-stroke.
Then you own it.
Okay.
I already gave away the fucking ping pong table to Kenny. But
Kenny took the baby. What the fuck would Kenny do? Is it a baby changing station?
Whoever takes it first.
All right.
It's a fucking
I will
long
take
story.
it in 2 weeks.
It sailed off the upper deck last night.
You can get it from the fucking Your Thrift Store. Another plug for Your Thrift Store.
Oh, did you take it to your thrift store?
No, I'm going to.
Oh, don't. Yeah, don't.
Because they were going to sell.
We're getting rid of it.
I'll tell you after
I have
the
a big
fucking
space
podcast.
I can use it in.
Oh, you're going to whack those kids in the backyard. What?
Exactly.
Bounce it off the ping pong table right into them jumping up on a fucking...
A trampoline, a circus show every day. Yeah, thanks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, if you're wondering where Chad Shank is, so are we. But last I talked to him, he was trying to finish up doing his voiceover of the book, and I don't want to bother him because I'm in the same headspace. There's a lot of fucking mental illness going on right now. A lot of people
I feel
are
pretty good.
falling apart. Right now I am, since your wife made me a coffee and perked me up, but I'm going on vacation. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are going, maybe it's monsoons.
No, it's that time of year. I can feel it. I mean,
Summer?
Listen,
Summer's
no,
not.
No,
There's
I
not
just
depression
moved
time.
here. I can tell you, 2 days ago. Well, we're dated, but 2 days ago, everyone's going, yeah. Why have we have rain? Where's the lightning? Where's the storm? This is like Alaska, okay? You're having the same effect Alaska does. When something doesn't happen when it's supposed to, people are freaking out because you didn't have rain. Then you had rain, and everyone's freaking out because you had rain. So, I mean, that's kind of what happens.
Your tree almost dropped a limb on our car, and then we waited a day to pull it away from your car. That's not exciting. That's fucking stressful.
No, that's stressful. We were, of course, looking at green chilies at the time in another state.
Yeah, you were on vacation, and that was one of the worst monsoons I can remember.
That was crazy.
Again, my memory is suspect.
Yeah.
But
No, I've never seen it that wicked. It blew down a blind that was rolled up, tucked into the
for
like
7
up there
years
in the patio.
Those
have been there forever.
Yeah, and it blew it. We realized the first season of monsoons, if you roll those down, they're bamboo shades.
Yeah, they'll get trash.
Hide the patio. They're going to fucking... And we were like, all right, just roll them up and keep them there for effect. And don't ever... It blew that off the fucking...
It broke cordage. I mean, it threw it straight
I don't know if you know this,
to the
but my
ground.
neighbor's tree, the second oldest in Bisbee, has now died. So now we have the oldest tree in Bisbee.
The alligator juniper.
And we have to go and look for the third oldest now to find out.
Which is now the second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go on a lot of vacations because we're doing some remodeling here at the house. And the nicest thing that I remember in the last few days was Becky Becker on the patio pre-monsoon said, "I love you." I remember early days where I thought one day we're all going to be old and live together in the desert, and now it's coming true. I'm tearing up when I say that.
Yeah, no, there you go.
You know,
It really was.
I want to add to that.
That made me
I
feel
keep
so good,
I
Ben.
keep hitting up James Inman to find out when he's going to get here.
What's this bullshit? Why was I invited? You know, I'm the fucking best guest on the podcast ever. He kind of is what,
Yeah.
but in not the way he knows.
We could put him in the shed next door.
Yeah, no, we have a place
Shed.
available. It's called the Neighbor's Place.
He'd take it.
Yeah.
No, we own it. Just make him stay there.
Hey, if you're a friend of mine and someone I really know, and you ever need an abortion, don't ever go, I was going to ask, but I didn't want to be that person. Ask me in the early trimesters. Yeah. Because I'm as much as I want tourism in Bisbee, I don't want any more kids of fucking broke people. So
Is this a plug for Chiricahua Health
I'm
Center?
just saying.
Yeah, but he won't fly you to China if you're in the 9th trimester.
I don't think I ever. I don't think I ever.
That's on
finished
you,
that
motherfucker.
Conversation.
Plan it.
Because I used to do that publicly when websites were somewhat viable But now it's all social
That was
media.
the Palin one you
I
started
did
with.
Palin, and I did the abortion. Some guy shot an abortion doctor, so I paid for an abortion through. I used to promote Lilith Fund in Austin. They paid for abortions for broke girls, and then they sent me a letter saying, as much as we appreciate your donations, we don't
Stuff a sock in it.
just shut the fuck up, because we don't need all the problems that you're creating, because I'm verbose about yes. So I silently still, and I've kept the Bisbee population.
You are pro parking.
Yes.
Hey,
So-
Doug, I got a question. Do you pay for fake abortions?
Well, I did ask that lady who's a friend of mine. I go, bring me a receipt, because they said, well, it's between like $620 and $1,020 depending on how far along, and I think I'm 3 weeks. And I go, bring me a fucking receipt. And
That's why we
change.
started a new program called Fistful of Dollars. One way or another, it's got to go. It's a Western.
Why are we all fucking drunk and happy and we don't even know what night it is? Because none of us have children. And it's a great thing. And anytime you bring a child into the world, you're murdering a human being, because that child will die and you'll be long gone and you won't be around to go, oh, sorry, I never thought it through.
Unless you're lucky.
Unless you're lucky. All right. What do we close this podcast on?
Let's name him Foster. That way he'll have the same name as his parents.
Foster Brooks. That's where we were going to dump the body. All right.
We can end cold. Say good night.
No, I was going to say, I was just trying to think of a good song that would
No, let's
close out.
get
with
away from
abortion.
songs.
Meningitis. Spinal meningitis.
God, I
All right.
love that song.
Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo. We have a list. We have Bingo and I have a list of possible vacations while this fucking house renovation is going on, because I don't want to be anywhere around fucking labor. So one of the things,
Ironic.
she wants to see Ween. She wants to see Ween really bad. So we'll definitely close on Ween, because they won't sue us. They're friends.
Why they wanna see my spine, Robin? Why they wanna see my spine? It's gonna hurt again, Bobby. Much worse than last time. Am I gonna see God, Bobby? Am I gonna die? It really hurts, Bobby. Am I gonna die? Smile on my Jesus. Spinal meningitis got me drunk. Smile on my Jesus. Spinal meningitis got me drunk. I'm feeling greasy, mommy. Please don't let me die. Sticky Vaseline,